How's it going, everyone? Is your boy Ozzy from the Nerdy Basement back again with a special episode. And joining me today is one of our longtime co-hosts, man. It's Boozer in the building. Boozer, let the people know how you doing. Welcome back to the basement.
I'm doing good. It feels good to be back. It's been a minute.
It's been quite a minute. We've been pumping out episodes and a lot of content over the last few months. And it's been exciting getting back into the swing of things. As you guys see by today's title, it's the special episode. We're going to be reviewing Demon Slayer, the movie, Infinity Castle. We're going to get into full-blown spoilers. We're not giving a spoiler warning. We know the movie's been out for like a week already. Everybody's been talking about it. There's a lot to get into. We're going to try to dive into everything and get both of our respective feedbacks on this movie and what we thought about it. Because there's a lot to discuss on this one, Boozer, man. This movie was hype. It is a box office success, and we'll get into those numbers in a little bit. But, man, you're back, man. Tell me how you're feeling, man. We'll let the people know what you've been up to, man.
I've been working. That's what I've been doing.
Aren't we all? We're all working.
But I will say I've been diving into 3D printing. And, boy, have I been 3D printing some anime stuff. I'll tell you that.
I've been telling Booze, I'm like, listen, man, everybody's getting into 3D printing. Get some content out there with that 3D printing, man. People will definitely watch it. Man. Get some content out there with that. Show us those time lapses. Show us those final products. Like, I know you got all those figures in the back. You got Iron Man in the background. Listen, man,
got
I'm
a little
sure
bit of solo leveling up in here.
Appropriate for the episode.
Gotta work on that. Almost finished.
Anime related. Appropriate. I know this is flashbacks of anime in the basement. Everybody who's been listening to us for a long time remembers the animated dedicated pod, which was great. It was fun. People seem to really enjoy that. We're not fully bringing that one back yet. Okay, just yet. We're not bringing that one back fully yet. We're doing this special episode because we just couldn't go without talking about Demon Slayer, man. It was too big of a movie and too much hype to just like watch it and just like not discuss it and put it out there to the world and see and let the people know what we think about it.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, this movie is a massive box office success. It is now the second highest grossing anime film in Japan, officially passing Spirited Away, which, Spirited Away specifically grossed 31.6 billion yen. That is a total equivalent of $213.76 million. Wow. That is bank, bro. This it may seem small in comparison to the blockbusters that we get here, but for an anime film, of that scale, that is massive. You know what I mean? So it has also been the number one ranked Japanese movie in the anime movie in the Japanese box office for 9 weeks straight. Mind you, for those who do not know, this movie was released in Japan on July 18th. It is now literally 2 months later, September 18th, 9 weeks straight in the number one spot in the Japanese box office. That is, again, massive. And it's still second place. Do you have any? Can you guess what is the first film? What is the number one movie in Japan? I just want you to guess. Just take a quick guess.
Shin Godzilla?
No, crazy. No, not even close. But anyway, Infinity Castle has grossed over 33 billion yen. That is an equivalent of 223.43 million US dollars. Again, massive numbers, right? That's massive. That was opening weekend. And then the number one all-time grossing movie in Japan in the box office is also Demon Slayer, bro. Mugen Train. It is also Demon Slayer.
Another one.
And mind you, we still got 2 more movies coming out. 2 more movies still coming out. So this record may be broken a couple of more times before we hit 2030. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is massive. But yeah, as for the global box office, as of this recording, after the research that I've done on this movie, Infinity Castle has earned just under $500 million at the global box office, making it the highest grossing R-rated anime film in the US, or animated film period in the US. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for those who are wondering, and for those who do know or do not know, parts 2 and 3 are expected, not confirmed, but are expected to hit theaters in 2027 and 2029, respectively. So, mind you, this is a trilogy of movies covering the entirety of the Infinity Castle arc and the Sunrise Countdown arc,
Damn,
which
it's
will
gonna be
see them
almost
going
a
up against Muzan.
it's
You
gonna be
know what I'm
almost a
saying?
decade
Like,
of the last season.
honestly, honestly, which is crazy. But listen, man, Demon Slayer is here to stay, man. Let me know what you think about these numbers and this record breaking box office, man. No anime film has done that here, man. Not that I recall, but
You know what? It's so funny is like so many people like kind of discount Demon Slayer as being so mid, and yet it's
yet
just it's
it
just
has
doing
taken
banger
over.
numbers.
It's taken over everything, including social media. Everywhere you go on social media right now, Infinity Train. If it's not Akaza, it is Tomioka.
Yeah,
Memes about Giyu and his Demon Slayer mark, the backstory that we dive into with Akaza in this movie. But listen, man, I'm not gonna waste too much time. Let's get into it. Again, like I said at the start at the beginning of the episode, we're just gonna jump right into spoilers. It's been a week. If you haven't watched it, listen, it's still in theaters. It's only gonna see like an 80% drop in the second weekend, but it's still what is it, broadcasting to be still number one at the box office this coming weekend, which is crazy. There's a couple of movies that dropped this weekend, but it's still looking to come out on top despite those two movies coming up. One of them being Him, which looks interesting, but horror movie, a lot of people are going to still go watch Infinity Castle.
yeah,
But since you're the guest of honor today, Boozer, I want to know your thoughts on the movies first. I've seen it twice. I know the movie is fresh on your brain, so let me
yeah. I just
know
saw it last night.
what was your expectations and how was this for you now that
So
you watched the movie in retrospect?
so I went in with the only information that I got about it was people complaining about pacing, and I was like,
Right.
okay, let me just go in, open mind, see how that goes. I already know Ufotable was going to give us just banger animation.
Oh,
Like,
we knew the soundtrack and the visuals were going to be
come on,
top
that's
notch.
never going to be
We
a
knew that.
question, and they delivered 100%. On that front, I genuinely like when it comes to the animation. Like, remember when Into the Spider-Verse came out, and everyone was
Mhm.
like in awe, just like how cool the animation was. That's how I felt with the castle in this. Like the castle to
The
me,
castle is a legit character.
it's a
Yes.
legit character. The castle felt so alive, and it literally was just like a marvel to see how it was animated, and literally
Mhm.
probably the best use of 3D in any anime. Absolutely, hands
Absolutely.
down, the best
Absolutely.
use of it.
And that's Ufotable's like staple,
Yeah,
the 3D CG, you know what I'm saying? So
like
go ahead,
I
continue.
really there was never a time where I had a complaint about any CG that was used in the anime.
Hmm.
So that was amazing, and it was just it worked so well. And then just like how it was so alive and how it was is evolving and how the camera movement was amazing. How they
Amazing.
worked the camera angles and the swooping around and utilizing the crows and everything like that. I, I was just amazed the whole time. Like the whole time, I was like, "This just looks
Hmm.
beautiful. This is amazing." I really do love how they used that playground. How every time a new set would be built, it would get broken down and they'd be moved to another set and that would get built because the castle's just ever
Yeah, that was
evolving.
great.
And it was cool to see
That was
like
great
them
to see. Yeah.
struggle, like sometimes just naturally and gracefully like land on different areas. Like I'd be stressing. I would be stressing out if I
Bro,
was fighting in that kind of
imagine
environment.
being Tanjiro, just free
Right?
falling into like this empty void, right? And you're just like
I'm
you
glad
see
you brought
like
that up.
these you know what I mean? Like, and having to use that technique to kind of stop yourself, and it's still not fully working because
I'm so glad you
fuck
brought
you,
that
right?
up.
You know?
Because remember how we were told that the sword styles are just sword styles?
Yes.
And how there's no like supernatural elements to this. I literally witnessed my man jump on air. Like
Right.
he used
That's
the water
one. That's
technique and his foot jumped on the water, which was in midair. You can't have it both
yes.
ways. Either these
That's
things
one.
and then like
That's
the
one.
lightning is breaking like lightning techniques are breaking the
Mhm.
environment. that's not swordsmanship. I mean, like that's lightning, bro. Like that's lightning, bro.
Well,
So
that's a couple of things, and there's another part. I'm not sure if you it was after the Zenitsu fight where one of the Demon Slayer core members is doing like he does the water technique,
yeah,
but you don't see any effect.
yeah.
Bro, that shit took me all the way. I was like, ain't no way they've been listening to people complain and they pulled that. You know what I mean? Because
So
you
it's just
see
so
everybody else using the elemental
yeah. So my
techniques,
theory
and then
is
that part you don't see it.
they are super powerful and they conjure elements because like I'm telling you,
There's
my
no other
man jumped on
explanation.
water. My man jumped on water in midair. Explain that.
I don't know, man. I
Anyway,
don't
yeah.
know.
So that's
I guess for visual cues, I
oh, so
guess
we're just
you know
breaking the environment for visual cues,
we're just breaking physics,
breaking
the
physics
power
and
of
everything.
everything,
Oh my
gravity, all
god.
that, just for visual cues. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah,
saying? Just so it looks cool.
yeah. That was just my little side note. But yeah, in general, like the castle, I can literally talk all day about the castle and just
Hmm.
how impressive it was to see them utilize the movement, the building, and just like the overall visual set pieces. Like when they would like zoom out and just show you everything from like a panned out view. I love the
Yeah.
crows kind of trying to go through and find everything. The only thing I was a little confused about is they announced this is a quick early spoiler, but they announced when like a higher ranked demon, like one of the higher ones, was defeated.
Hmm.
But they didn't announce when. What was it? Upper six?
Yeah.
I don't know why that was.
Daigaku.
I don't know why that wasn't announced. That was just a little weird,
I don't know. I don't know. And it should have been because Zenitsu was the only one who defeated an
right?
upper moon by himself.
By not only by
Granted,
himself. Now, yeah, he was
granted,
like
he
a
was one
fill-in.
of the weak. He
Yeah,
was one of the weaker ones. But
they both were the
however,
weaker of all of them. But either way, my man put in work. Okay,
either
put some respect
way,
on Zenitsu. You know what I
put
mean?
some respect on the god Zenitsu because he was the only one in that cast, at least right now, who's defeated an upper moon by
Yeah,
himself. You know what I'm saying? Because not even Tengen. Tengen had to use all his
yeah,
one arm, all his strength,
hmm
and Tanjiro's help to
yeah.
defeat the former upper six, Gyotaro and Daki. You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
So we got to put some respect on Zenitsu's name. You know what I'm
Also, it was
saying?
so
But
dope seeing my man lock in like that.
oh no, he was locked in
My
from
man
the
was
jump.
locked in from beginning to end.
As soon as he got that letter, he was locked in. He was locked in. He was like, "Nah, I'm gonna find him. And
My
I
man
gotta show him."
didn't waver, and I love it so much.
Nah,
So,
that was great. We'll
phew,
get it. We'll get into that in a
um,
little bit. But yeah, pacing, runtime,
yeah,
soundtrack. You
and like
mentioned animation.
so when it comes to the pacing, my whole thought process on that was, yeah, like obviously they do the flashbacks. That is a Demon Slayer staple. And towards the end, one of the last kind of moments of the movie is majorly, you know, uh, flashback.
Flashback.
And I
Hmm.
can see how that could, slow down for a lot of people. But at the end of the day, like that's Demon Slayer. Like if you've been watching Demon Slayer from the beginning, like they be throwing in all those flashbacks. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean? Like, and for a long period, like,
Hmm.
you should be sitting through flashbacks. But the whole point, I think, like, the whole point of Demon Slayer is it's a bunch of fights and then, like, heart wrenching stories of who these people were.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, Tanjiro was not one of those characters like, I'm going to kill every demon. That's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
his
yeah.
goal. He's just trying to get his sister back. And he
Hmm.
actually has empathy for everyone, literally
Yeah,
everyone,
I
demon
was
or
just
not,
about to say that. Now he has empathy for everybody,
for
including the
everyone.
demons. We've seen him cry after defeating the demon.
Yeah, everyone can catch hands and everyone can catch some empathy when it comes to Tanjiro.
Yo, at the
Okay.
same time.
So, we expect that that's what we're going to see. And I personally, and if you make a good flashback and a good story on that, I'm willing to forgive the
Hmm.
pacing because that's the story. Like, I'm used to it. And like, if this was any other anime, I would be like, yeah, that was like horrible pacing idea. But that's just what we've been getting this whole time. It would be weird if it didn't kind of like have that kind of
Yeah,
same
I'm on that
flow.
same boat, which is what I mentioned in my. I'm not sure if you saw it, but my social review for the movie after I watched it like early last week. I was like, I can see why some people were complaining about it, but that's Demon Slayer at its core,
Yeah.
getting those emotional backstories, and that's what adds so much weight to those fights, especially in this movie. Um, and a lot of that stuff that we get flashbacks on in this movie, they were kind of hinting at throughout the entire anime series. So I don't really
Yeah.
understand why a lot of people were like, "Oh, the pacing's off. Too many backstories, especially Akaza's backstory." I'm like, but that's the whole point. That's what
Yeah.
we've been getting all these years. So why is that a problem now?
Yeah, like if you've watched from the beginning, and I would hope you were not just jumping into this randomly.
No, actually, now that you mention that, I walked out of the movie on Sunday. That was my second viewing because we got the screener early
Yeah.
thanks to Crunchyroll. So shout out to Crunchyroll. We got to watch it early. I also went to support it in theaters. So please support your local theaters. Support the movies if you can, of course.
Hmm.
Um, I walk out of the movie theater and there's these two dudes walking behind me, and I overhear one of them say, I was expecting this movie to really spoil the anime for me. But I like how it did it. And I was like, what do you
What do
in
you
my
mean by
head, I'm
that?
like,
What do you mean by
what
that?
do you mean by that? So the dude his friend that he went to go watch the movie with, he asks him, wait, you're not caught up with the anime? He's like, no, I'm not caught up with the anime. Like I didn't even watch the last movie.
So
I-
you watched
I'm like,
season
I'm like,
one?
I'm like in my, I'm like, bro, what are you doing here?
You're missing so
This
much character development.
this movie for sure spoiled a shit ton of shit for the anime. What are
Oh
you doing
yeah,
here,
I mean
bro?
literally the leader dying. Like
It's like, what are you doing here, bro? Come on. That was just funny to me that people
yeah, that's
went to
pretty
go watch
wild.
this movie without watching the anime.
But, well,
Or
it's
at least
funny.
watching
Like
some sort of recap.
my wife, I wanted my wife to come see it because that was actually one of the first anime I got her to get into anime. But she's kind of behind. We've been watching some, like we just been finishing Don to Don, but like she's a little behind on Demon Slayer, so she wasn't able to see it. So like we didn't, neither one of us wanted her to get spoiled on like just jumping in.
No, right.
You
Yeah,
know,
no.
it doesn't
This
make
movie
sense. No,
spoils way too much.
no,
Especially that is the final arc of the manga. No, come
no.
on. No.
Yeah,
But yeah, so the fight sequence, the action and the fight sequences were great, man. That, like I mentioned in my social media, they were grueling, impactful, beautifully animated,
oh
especially
yeah,
when we got to the Kocho fight with Doma. Like, oh, I was not expecting. Like, the thing is with her, we didn't really see much of her fighting style,
yeah.
like throughout the anime. And like they go full throttle with her here, so you learn so much. We'll get into that one first, since that's like the first big fight that we get in the movie.
Yeah,
Even though it was a little short, in my opinion, but given the context, right?
yeah.
Given the context, this is what is it? She's a poison Hashira.
Mm-hmm.
She has a blade that does not behead demons. You know what
Nope.
I mean? Chemical warfare essentially is what she is her weapon. You know what I mean? So we kind of knew that she was not gonna be able to best Doma in this fight. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But there is, for those who've read the manga, obviously there's a reason for that, which we're not going to spoil here for the sake of not spoiling
yeah.
anything ahead of the movie.
Just gonna have
But
to wait 2 years.
yeah, you're gonna have to
Read
wait
the
a few
manga
years to
and
see that,
read the
or
manga
just
in the
read the
meantime.
manga in the meantime. But or be like me, go down a rabbit hole and just learn everything, and just wait to see it animated, and
True.
still be like, wow, blown away.
I
You
have
know what I
been
mean?
I've
But
been spoiled by everything. So even though I haven't caught up in the manga, I've already been spoiled on everything. So
oh,
like I already
I
know
know.
what happened, was gonna happen, and what's to come. So
Yeah, I know a lot about Infinity Castle.
yeah,
I would say like 2 years ago is when I learned almost everything from Infinity Castle, but that didn't deter me from watching the movie. I'm
oh
still
for
gonna go
sure.
watch it. So, but yeah, well, we also get a lot of exposition for Gocho here. You know, Shinobu. We got some hints to her sister dying in the anime, but now we get to see that a little more fleshed out. How she met her end when it came to Doma, and how she works as a Hashira. Because again,
Yeah,
we see her just training the girls like Kanao and stuff like that. She's just doing a lot of like behind the scenes work. But we didn't know she was pulling up with some deadly poison like this. You know what I mean? She didn't
yeah.
go out like a chump.
No,
So
no,
that
she
was
didn't.
great.
And
Even
her
go ahead,
speed, her
bro.
speed,
I did not expect it to be that fast. I did not expect
bro.
her to
I
be that
wanted to see
fast.
her train with Zenitsu locked in, like locked in Zenitsu
Locked
and her
in.
training together,
Bro,
bro.
I was not expecting her to be that fast. I was not expecting her breathing techniques to be so beautifully
Oh
animated. Even
yeah,
the sound design
ah
when
yeah,
she was using
yeah.
the bee, the hornet, the centipede
The
attack, and she
centipede,
used the dragonfly one, where it was like, oh, bro, that was all amazing to see and whatever. Again, she's a badass. I'm not gonna as She didn't go down without a fight. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? She did not go down without a fight. Yeah, the fight was short lived, but again, the soundtrack, the animation, the backstory that we got, and we even got a little extension on her conversation with Tanjiro
Yeah.
back in like season 2, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like
Yeah.
season 2 or
That was
towards
after
the
he
end
was
of
healing.
season
Yeah.
one, where she like revealed. Well, we didn't get that part of the conversation when they were talking on that rooftop at that point early on in the show. And this is someone who's like, she said, like, I'm always angry. Like, I'm furious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like burning with rage. And you would even think someone so soft spoken and so chill and calm and collected at all times is just burning with rage on the inside. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it was great. I like Kocho. I like her design. I liked everything about this fight. Domo was great, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Domo was
I
great.
was dreading this because I was just dreading. I knew what was going to happen.
I knew what was
I
gonna
know,
happen.
and
Yes,
I
I
just didn't know
knew.
how because I wasn't spoiled on exactly how. I just knew it was the fact of what was going to happen.
Same, same.
So
I
that was
knew
rough.
a lot of these fights. I knew what was gonna happen. I just didn't know the context of
Yeah.
what happened to lead up to that end result of said fights. I feel like the only one I really didn't have too much context on prior to this was the Tanjiro, Giyu, and Akaza fight.
Yeah.
I
That one
feel like that
actually,
one,
I knew it happened. I just didn't know much about it at all. Yeah.
yeah, that's the one I feel I didn't get too much context on, and I'm glad that I didn't
Yeah. For
because
sure.
I was blown away with that one. But well, we'll get to that one in a bit because that's a huge chunk of this movie
It
is
really is.
that
Yeah.
fight.
For sure.
Is that fight? Is that backstory? There's a lot of backstory for Tanjiro. We'll get to that into that in a bit. The next one we got is Zenitsu versus Kaigaku. Again, all the feels. Zenitsu the god
Locked in.
locked the fuck in, locked in. So we got the backstory for them both. The interesting thing here is, at least I feel like I was missing a little something with with the upper one. I think it was his name Kokushibu. Yeah, Kokushibu. Why was he the specific one to turn him into
I don't know. That
a
is a great
demon?
question.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because Muzan turns almost everyone else into demons, but he turned Kagaku specifically into a demon. Even when we get Akaza again in his backstory, Muzan is the one that turns him into a demon.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was wondering. I feel like even watching it twice, like yeah, he gave him reasoning as to
Well,
why
I guess.
he should
Well,
be honored and stuff like that. But
I assume it's just because he was fight. He was, it was a. Is there between
was
a
it
like a
was it
swordsman? It was,
him?
because remember, the one was just a karate person. Like, he was just a regular person. This was an actual. He was already a part of the corps.
Yeah. So he was
So
part of the
maybe he
course.
just had
Okay,
permission
maybe
to change them out because, like, what's his name was gonna try to change Rengoku.
right.
You know what I mean?
Akaza wanted to
Yeah.
change Rengoku. Right.
So
Right. So maybe I guess if you're going on a mission, maybe I guess is
maybe
where
you have
the
permission to turn someone powerful.
probably
Yeah,
manga watchers. If we're missing anything, let us know in the
for
comments if we're
sure.
missing any sort of context for that. Because I said manga watchers, well, manga readers. I'm sorry, because that's the only thing I was talking about. Why him specific? Because we
Yep.
don't really get to see much action of Kokushibu at all
Yeah.
in this anime up until that specific point, and then the other part later on in the movie. So it's like, granted, he is the upper one,
Yeah.
so
My man said,
they're
if you
holding him back
spill
for a
a
reason.
goddamn drop, I'm gonna kill you right here.
Listen, seeing that scene at towards the end of the movie with
Yeah.
him, I would have believed it
Oh, for sure.
before the blood even touched the floor. He
Bro,
would have
my
been
man got
decimated.
6 eyes. I'm pissing my pants, bro.
Well, he
Like,
has 6 eyes, and then he has like 5 or 6 on the hilt of his
yeah, the hilt
sword.
alone,
Man,
yeah.
it's like I want to know how that works. For
Right.
those who don't know, he does have a breathing technique, which I guess we can spoil that he has moon breathing. I want to see how that's going to be animated because we haven't seen anyone with moon breathing, or at least anyone use
No.
moon breathing
Yeah.
throughout the anime. So, but yeah, man, there's a lot of backstory. We finally learned what's on that letter.
Yeah.
That's the
Oh,
Nitsu
yeah.
got.
That was what I did not expect that. I thought he had just killed his teacher. I didn't
Yeah,
know.
that
Yeah.
I was under the impression of that too. That he
Turned into a
Maybe
demon and
killed his
killed him
teacher and killed the teacher. Blah 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 blah. But no, Sensei committed seppuku, bro. Like
by himself.
feeling by himself, all alone. Like that was brutal. And we didn't get to see him actually perform the seppuku and shit, but we got to see the aftermath of him. Like, and that's brutal, man. If you
That's
really
brutal.
think
Yeah.
about it,
Oh yeah, he
that's a
just bled
brutal
out
way. Yeah, slowly, which is
slowly and
insane.
still in place, like just sitting there. Nothing you can do.
Man, I can't blame Zenitsu for that one, man. He's pissed. I, I would have been pissed too, man. I would have been pissed too. This fight I feel was a little short lived too.
Yeah.
I feel like this was one of the fights I was really excited to see, and I was expecting it to go a little longer than it did.
I feel
I
like it
feel
kind of
like
makes sense though. Like both in a way speedsters. Like, I mean, they're both quick. They both have
right,
lightning. They
yeah,
both have
true.
lightning
That's very
techniques,
true.
and like they're also both
I didn't really think about it that
the
way.
most inexperienced out of both sides. So I kind of like having it long and drawn out. I think would have been a little weird because usually you expect that from
Probably.
extremely powerful people. Which
Mhm.
not to say that they're not extremely powerful, but in context of the other people they're seniors essentially. I kind of get
Right.
how it was short lived.
Yeah. No, I guess viewing it from that perspective, it does make sense, especially because, like you said, they were the weakest,
Yeah,
and when
and
they were
Zenitsu only
training
really knows like
together.
one technique, so like you can't really draw that out too much. Him just kind of like
Right.
doing the
Which
thunderclap and
is
flash over and
insane.
over again. Yeah,
Hmm. Yeah, because he only mastered the first
yeah,
form of
the
thunder
fundamental
breathing.
one. Yeah,
Yeah, the fundamentals. That's all he was able to master, and then Kaigaku was able to master everything else, but the fundamentals.
yeah,
Which in hindsight, you really think about it, it really like nails down where if you don't know fundamentals, you can't really get far.
yeah,
honestly,
and that
honestly,
also kind of teases into how he wasn't, at least not yet, wasn't able to master even his own blood art technique
right,
yet.
exactly, yeah, yeah, because he wasn't at full force. Because
Mm,
once again, we seen the previous upper six, and they gave Tengen and everyone the work.
the work.
They gave Tengen and everyone the work, man. That was not an easy battle. But yeah, man, we got some rules for that. Like we said, the Nitsu only mastered the first form of thunder breathing, and then he also goes on to create a seventh form that we didn't know about. It's like you went. I guess we did know about it since he did kind of
Yeah, I thought it
go
was the
off on
eighth
his own
form.
to
Am I
train.
wrong?
No, it was the seventh
Oh,
form,
seventh.
thunder
Okay.
breathing seventh form. Yeah, I think it was like God, thunder, flame, and
Yeah,
God
it was
thunder,
like
something
flame.
like
It was
that.
there was fire involved.
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome, and I love the lead up to that specific moment
Oh yeah.
and whatever.
Oh, and that's
And then
another one
Kaigaku.
where that
Mhm.
camera angle where it like came down and then
No,
like
the camera work on that
swooped
scene
back right
specifically,
into the side.
bro. The direction on this movie. Again, there's a lot of people who do not like animated movies, and you're surely missing out.
100%.
There's some amazing direction in animated movies, man. Listen, and this movie is the epitome of amazing direction.
For sure.
But yeah, I mean, Kaigaku's Thunder Breeder was pretty dope too. I feel like the
Oh yeah.
animation for that was dope. He has like that black red lightning type thing going on and whatever. And I like the voice. You watched it dub or did you watch it
I
sub?
watched it dubbed.
Yeah, I watched it dub
I
both
was in the
times,
theater,
and
so
I was
if I miss a sub, I can't go back and like rewatch it. So like I definitely don't mind watching sub at home, but in theaters, oh, your
yeah.
eyes are like, I gotta read, because if I miss anything, I'm losing so much context.
Every single My Hero Academia movie I've watched sub in
Mhm.
theaters,
Oh, really?
which
Yeah,
is a task
that's a
for sure.
task. Because again, if you miss
It,
one thing, well, I missed it.
it's yeah, it's it's a task for sure. But I watched it dub both times, and honestly, the dub for Demon Slayer, I was not familiar with that game, bro. I've
Yeah,
only
dub
ever
is
seen
great.
Demon
Dub is great
Slayer
for Demon Slayer, in my opinion.
and
I think
sub.
dub Demon Slayer is one of the, like a great dub and sub. Absolutely.
Yeah, no, I was actually surprised. I was like, wow. And even someone like Channing Tatum, who I've never
Oh yeah,
really
who did he do again? Did
he
he do the
played
teacher?
he did the sensei.
I knew he was the sensei. I didn't look. I didn't see who he did,
Hakuji Sensei, bro. Hakuji Sensei.
but I actually really liked Akaji Sensei.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, Kaigaku has been murked. He's been RIP'd. And once again, Zenitsu didn't get his flowers in this movie, man.
No,
He
they
didn't
should
get
have
it.
been
He
like
didn't get it.
Zenitsu did it, son.
he should have gotten a whole like shebang. Like they
Yeah.
announced Kocho's death, they
Yeah, I don't
announced
know.
Akaza's
I'm
death and
wondering if
all
there's
that.
a
Like it's like, come on.
if you've read the manga, please let us know if there's a reason why they didn't announce it, or if this was just an anime thing where they were like, time. I guess we just don't not gonna do a scene where they go announcing that. I don't know.
Given how long this movie is, I don't think it
Yeah,
was
I don't think
a
that couple
time
seconds would have been
constraint.
crazy.
I don't think a few more seconds to flesh out that specific moment would have
Yeah,
killed the budget, if you know what I'm
100%.
saying. But yeah, another thing I wanted to touch upon a little bit. I was talking to my friend about it was Guillaume, the Stone Hashira.
Oh yeah,
Bro, I am waiting.
my man is a
I am
force of
waiting.
nature.
He was just bulldozing into the damn castle, bro, and I'm just like, bro. I'm like, bro, the fact that I gotta wait, God knows
Because
how
that's not
many
going to be into the
years.
third movie, right? His or does he fight in the second? Probably. I don't
I
know the
believe he
order of
fights in
that.
the. I believe he fights in the next
It would
one,
make
if
sense,
I'm not
yeah.
mistaken. Yeah, the next one. Yeah, he fights in the next one, and then the
And then
third
we'll see
one
the
would
conclusion
be the big fight with
of the
Muzan and
yeah.
Tanjiro and whatever happens with that, which is some cool stuff that happens. But yeah, man, Guillaume, bro, he's gonna be a force to reckon with. I told my boy, we were talking about it because he's been super hyped about the movie as well. I think he's seen it like twice now, and I was like, this guy has been sitting on the sidelines for
Mm-hmm.
the whole show. I'm like, when you hold somebody back from the sidelines for that long, they're gonna do some crazy shit later on, and they're gonna cook with Guillaume.
Yeah.
I'm hyped for that. I'm hyped for that. That's I don't know, his design and stuff like that. Though
Oh,
his voice, his design, his design alone
fire.
is fire. He's blind on top of that. He, come on, man.
My
He's a
man's a
stone
brick
pillar.
wall.
He is a absolute unit.
Yeah, I was just
That
gonna say
is,
he's a unit.
he's an absolute unit, bro. I cannot wait to see him throw down with the upper ranks. But another thing that this movie left me wanting to see, like after, I will say during the Tanjiro, Giyu, and Akasa fight, and by the end of it, I was like, because there was a lot of exposition about the past that they kind of
Yeah.
drop it, like sprinkle in a little bit, and obviously some of the senseis that we get throughout the show were former Hashiras. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
the one who's taking care of Nezuko. Um, Zenitsu's teacher was also a former Hashira. I need some sort of prequel to see like all those early
Oh, the
years,
previous Hashira,
all
yeah.
those early years of the Demon Slayer Corps. You know what I mean? Because Akasa has been killing people for over
Long
500
time.
years, and he's killed a couple Hashiras before. I'm like, bro, I need to see that.
Yeah. No,
I need
that
to
would be
see
pretty
that.
dope.
Like, you just can't just sprinkle that in there and just like not have any plans to show me.
And like Tanjiro's legacy as well, like
Well, Tanjiro's legacy alone, bro.
yeah.
Like, I don't want to spoil something,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he
yeah. I
has,
know.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I
Like
know what you
manga
mean.
readers know what we're talking about and what we're hinting at. Anime watchers only, you got to wait a few years for that one. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of like lore and history to the Demon Slayer. We're only experiencing a portion of the story. I would like to see more of that.
Yeah,
You
I'm
know
with
what
you
I
on
mean?
that.
I would like to see the previous Hashiras and how they they were out there, taking names and kicking ass, how they died, what was their backstories and things of that nature. Another thing I also was excited for, that I was confused about at first, was Rengoku's dad, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, hold up. I didn't recognize him at first. I was like, hold up, no, wait,
Yeah, right.
is this a dream sequence? Like, Tengen, are you high right now? Like, but
And I
I
keep
want
forgetting
to,
how old what's his name was.
who?
I'm having a brain block. With from the who killed the
Who,
last.
Tengen?
Yeah, Tengen for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
I
he's
forget.
pretty old.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
forget how like he's an adult.
yeah. No, he's
Yeah,
an
like
adult
he's
though.
an adult.
He's not a
Like him
teenager
and
like everybody else.
him and our unit, actual adults.
Yeah, Guillaume. Yeah, they are actual. I mean, they've been around for a minute,
Yeah.
so once again, I would like to see some previous history animated or explored in some
Yeah.
way, shape, or form, because there's a lot of history here. But okay, let's get into the main event of the movie, man. I want to know your thoughts on this one specifically, because this was a lot.
Yeah.
This was a grueling fight
It was like
from
actually
start
kind of
to finish.
exhausting watching, but like not in a bad way. Like I just was like
Right.
feeling for them, like damn, like Oh, bro.
You're feeling for Tomioka. You're like, damn, my back hurts too, bro. Like,
Right? Yo, my man is just wants to be unbothered.
who doesn't, bro? Who doesn't, bro?
The funniest
I
thing
can
I'm seeing
relate.
right now is the meme where it's like, where it's like him after hearing Tanjiro say his name like 8 times after he said he didn't want to give his
Mhm.
name.
He's like, I don't think you deserve my name. And he's like, oh, Mr. Giyu. Oh, so it's like, come on,
Son of a
Tanjiro.
bitch.
It's like, come on,
You
bro. But then
polite
again, that's
son of a bitch.
that exactly. But that's Tanjiro being
Yeah,
Tanjiro.
for
You know what
sure.
I mean? Like unintentionally. But yeah, let me know what you think. This one again. This was grueling
Yeah,
for as a viewer, and I'm sure for them as characters this was grueling.
the fighting style with his fisticuffs, it was just incredible. Like it
Oh,
was one of the
that
most
was
visually
straight hands,
impressive.
straight
Like
hands.
I love a good sword fight, but man, him throwing his punches and kicks, both physically and then like via almost like projectiles, was just like so cool.
Right.
Everything about him in this movie was incredible. I was so glad to see them like him really get to shine. Even though I'm mad at the character, like he killed our homie.
He killed our
I'm mad
boy
at the
Goku,
character,
and
but I got to
granted,
give him props for his
what he did in Mugen Train
yeah,
was just the tip of the iceberg compared
100%.
to what we got here. That was nothing.
And you
That
know
was
what?
really nothing.
I feel like he's one of the best examples of utilizing time to literally just become a monster. Like it wasn't
Oh,
purely just
absolutely.
like how many people he consumed, which is oftentimes how they get their strength.
Hmm.
My man mastered martial arts, even beyond like he'd already pretty much done that in his previous life,
Yeah,
but he had just
as a
taken it.
youngin for sure.
He had just
Hmm.
taken it to another level, and you see that, like you really see the fruits of his labor. Obviously it's used in the worst possible way that he probably would have never done if he still had his
Hmm.
memories, which is even more sad. But it's incredible to see like just how they animated everything was incredible and
Yeah,
grueling again. Like
at
he
some
was
point,
putting
I just called him Avatar. I called him Aang at some point because you're
yeah,
just kicking wind blades and wind punches just like with ease. It's like, bro, you're the chosen one. It's
bro.
like really
It's
that
funny.
simple.
That video that's been popular with um not Creed, the Creed video that's popular that's been going around, that
Yeah,
edit with like the punching and
yeah.
everything. That was my man the whole movie. My man was just hitting to the
That
beat
was
the whole
literally him.
goddamn movie.
Yo, everything, bro. But yeah, that was grueling. We also got a lot of backstory for Tanjiro and his family
Yeah.
a little more. I mean,
Yeah, I like
we've
seeing that.
gotten a lot. We've gotten a lot, but we actually got to see him interact a little more with his dad and his family in
Hmm.
a more like a familial setting, as opposed to when we
Yeah.
first saw him in season one and he learned how to use the Hinokami Kagura with that flashback and whatever. It was just him and his mom and just watching the dad do the Hinokami dance or whatever. But it was interesting to see that his dad also knew how to put in the work.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even
That
though
was
he
really
was
nice to
against the
see.
bear, I guess it was against the bear,
My
but
man did a
yeah,
two tap
man's was
with an
swift.
axe
He
instantly.
was swift. He was swift with that shit. Yo,
Because
man.
you know it's funny. I sat there and I was like, wait, how did he do that with that tiny little axe? And then they literally were like, yep, I saw him quickly do 2 slices because it's not thick enough.
And then you can see he's a fragile man. He's not
Yeah,
in his tip top shape. You know what I mean?
for
Like,
sure.
despite being a co-seller and collector, and people who have that sort of lifestyle are just physically strong.
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like they're out there in nature and they get naturally strong. So seeing him as still kind of like this fragile old man to be able to pull something like that, and then how calm
Hmm.
and chill he
Clean.
was, and how elegant and graceful he was, like
Yeah,
how he spoke to the bear with like grace. And he's like,
yeah.
yo, like, I'm letting you walk away, but if you like, what I'm saying, take another step, then it's a wrap, son. You know what I'm saying? Like,
He gave him that
we're gonna
warning.
throw you on the grill tonight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was like really. It was really impressive to see that.
No, for sure. And then learning a little more about the Hinokami Kagura, which is obviously a big
Hmm.
thing that we've been getting since season one. We know it is a form of sun breathing that was
Hmm.
confirmed, I believe, in season three, um, which is the very first breathing technique, the original breathing technique. Everything else is a derivative or a variation
Mhm.
of the sun breathing technique. So there's a lot more that goes into that, and then the Hinokami Kagura, which again, if we get into all that, we're just spoiling the rest of Demon Slayer for you. We're not. I don't
Yeah.
want to do that for anybody. I don't want to be that person. You know what I mean? If you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. But I don't want to be that person.
The
But
the
we
only
do.
no, keep
Go
going.
ahead. No, go.
The only thing that kind of got me a little bit was like the amount of times they said the transparent world.
That's what I was about to get into
Yeah,
next.
that
The
was a
transparent
lot.
world. It
That
was
was a
like, bro,
lot
we get
of
it.
saying
We get
the
it.
transparent world.
It's like we get it. We get it, man. We get it. But yeah, we also got Tomioka unlocking his Demon Slayer mark. Did you know that is like almost like adjacent? Like if you're fighting along someone who has a Demon Slayer mark, it like drives up the percentage of
Oh
the
no,
capability of you being able to unlock it too.
no.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. That was something I learned doing research. I was like, I've never seen any other Hashira really get the Demon Slayer mark. And there's only like a less than a handful of people who have a Demon
Yeah,
Slayer
yeah.
mark in the show, which is Tanjiro. I'm pretty sure no, his dad doesn't have it. We have the Upper Moon one.
Hmm.
He has a Demon Slayer mark. I guess that's pretty obvious as
Yeah,
to
yeah.
you know. And now we got Tomioka who has one as well. So,
You got to give
but
him
yeah,
credit
none,
for
none,
passing out like a badass, like kneeling up on his sword.
oh, for sure,
Like,
for sure,
come on. My man ain't
bro.
my man ain't even falling to the ground. My man ain't even falling to the ground.
No. Listen, Tomioka has been a badass since his introduction in the first season. And we get him I think it's the very first episode. The very first episode, I believe, we get to see him, but then we don't get to see him in action until much, much later as an actual Hashira. So getting to see him go full throttle in
Yeah,
this fight, I was like, yes. I was like, this is my guy. And Johnny Young Bosch, bro, he's the voice of Giyu. It's like, come on, bro,
come on.
come on.
There's not going to be a miss there.
No, absolutely not.
No,
Absolutely not. Not with Johnny Young Bosch behind the mic. You're not getting any sort of misses on that one. So that's our flowers to the GOAT. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? But yeah, again, he got his Demon Slayer mark because his back hurt. So I think that's relatable as fuck. he's like,
My man just
he's like,
didn't
you're
want to be
getting on my
bothered anymore.
nerves.
He said, "I want to be
He's
done with
like,
this."
yeah, you're getting on my nerves. I don't like being tossed around, and my back hurts. It's like,
And everyone was being tossed the fuck around.
yo, Akaza was tossing everybody around like rat dolls, bro. Like the amount of times Tanjiro was thrown into some sort of like pillar, into some sort of wall, into the air, the floor. I'm like, bro,
They were being
you gotta
tossed
have.
out of sight, and they had to like run and find each other over and over again. So
Yes,
much of
I'm
that
like,
fight
bro.
was one of them tracking down the other person because they were flung so far away.
And then coming, and then that goes back to the great use of one, the camera work and
Yeah,
how they animated the Infinity Castle as a whole. You know what I'm saying? Like you were tossed out of sight. You were far. You were not like in the next building over. You had to like traverse your way back. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
and a lot of it was at the nick of time, so the other person doesn't die. Which is we had a lot of those moments
for
where
sure.
keep you at the edge of your seat, which was great. But we got Akasa's backstory, how he became a demon.
Loved it.
Man, this was heavy. This is
Really
a
had to
heavy
make me feel
backstory.
bad. Really had to make me feel bad for someone that I didn't want to feel bad for initially.
And I always say that's how you make a good villain. That's
Yeah,
how you make a great villain.
yeah.
Make us empathize with him.
You got your categories of villains. You got yours that your unforgivables. There's no
Oh, absolutely.
redemption. You got your kind of your turncoats, ones that redeem themselves and become good. And then you got yours that
Mhm.
are just they're bad guys that have a sad backstory, have a tragic backstory. And those to me are definitely some of the best
The hero
ones.
to their own story.
Yeah.
The hero to their own
And
story.
the craziest thing about that is like you don't want to forgive him, but you can kind of understand that like he would have never done the actions he did if he had had his memories.
Oh,
He
for
would have
sure,
never done that.
absolutely.
He
Mhm.
was definitely
And I feel
he was a
and I
better
feel like
man before he
Muzan,
had turned.
yeah,
And
Muzan knew
Muzan
that.
destroyed that. He knew that. Yeah, he destroyed
He
that.
knew that. He
He
absolutely
he
knew
knew that
that.
he would not have the soldier he needs if that man had those memories. And
Absolutely.
that's the sad part is, and he committed all these acts of violence, and betrayed pretty much everything he ever stood for in the end,
Everything he stood for.
which
Yeah, yeah.
is
He
which is
became a
horrible.
mindless soldier.
Yeah, he
He became
stripped away
Bucky.
other people's families, which he never would have done.
Mm-hmm.
He would have loved fighting Rengoku, but not wanted to kill him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's sad to see that, and it makes me hate Muzan even more. Like,
Oh no,
it really
is
just digs deeper and deeper into hate for
he's
him.
a piece of shit, bro.
Yeah, that's literally
And
you son of a bitch.
And again, that harkens back to wanting to see more of the backstory for a lot of these characters, because I would like to see Muzan before
Yeah,
the Muzan we get in the show. You know what I mean? Because he's
yeah,
more of one of those villains that's like in the shadows, pops out every once in a while. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
he's a massive threat. He's a lingering threat, the looming threat in the background. So I would like to see something a little more dedicated to his fight against the Demon Slayer Corps all these years ago. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no, it definitely, like, I feel like it was good to see that backstory, because it does make you like that character more, especially how he goes out in the end. Like, we gotta talk about that. Like,
No, we talking about Muzan, how he goes out?
no, I'm having a brain fart. All these names.
Oh, there's a lot of names, a lot of characters in the show.
Our martial artist.
Akaza?
Akaza, yeah. Akaji.
No, Hakuji.
Hakuji.
Yo, pour one out for Hakuji.
Yeah, right. You gonna pour it out? Gonna have to wipe that carpet up. No, but yeah, like like the way he takes himself out.
He chose to lose, bro.
I still don't get how he survived after being decapitated. Did he just say
it was sheer?
Now I'm built different,
will, bro.
I'm built different.
His willpower. He's literally built different, and his willpower and his willpower. That was all just sheer will. That was just
that's crazy.
Again, as he calls it, that's his fighting spirit. You know what I mean? That was something he's always like. He told Rengoku, "Show me your fighting spirit."
Yeah.
He told Tanjiro, "Show me your fighting spirit." Like that's what keeps him going, and that's after being decapitated. That's what kept him going.
Yeah, that's absolutely insanity.
If it wasn't for those flashbacks and the fact that he was having those memories without his head on his body is even crazier.
Yeah,
to be able to kind of, you know what I mean, kind of will himself.
Yeah, I don't really know how demon anatomy works.
Listen, bro, we got swordsmen who use elemental powers that aren't meant to be seen; they're just meant to be felt. And so I'm not questioning the anatomy of these demons. It is what it is. But
yeah, seeing my man take himself out with his own fist, that's crazy.
Bro,
that's crazy.
That was brutal. And I kind of like.
I knew that was about to happen. I knew that was about to happen because he was like, what did he say? I need to kill the man that that I've hated myself or whatever. Like I hated.
I don't remember the exact.
It was something about
verbatim.
Like finally take out what I've been disgusted with this whole time, because he's been going against everything.
Yeah, it was something
he ever would have stood for
of taking out what he hated the most.
Yeah, what he hated the most, and because he was committing everything that he would have never done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly. So I mean, and the fact that he gave Tanjiro a nice little smile, like that graceful smile. I was like, damn, bro, damn. I shouldn't feel bad for you, but him taking himself out, I really felt bad for him.
But I mean, honestly, true. Just to bring this to a little bit of Marvel here, is basically the Winter Soldier situation right there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He committed all these things.
He's Bucky.
He would have never done. He would have never done those things if he hadn't had his memory wiped clean and turned into a demon that needs to feed on human blood. So
yep, that's exactly what it is. He
to imagine what he could have been,
Winter Soldier,
with his memories, or even just not being turned into a demon, man. Mm-hmm. Especially with his sensei and what he was taught. Sensei was great.
Oh, the sensei was great, man. And there's a lot of. I saw this nice little video online that kind of dove into the into the symbolism behind his design and the names of his moves and whatever. And
how
wow, that was I didn't never really
how all of his moves were named after fireworks.
Yeah, the
All his
so the meaning
techniques.
of his tattoos. Obviously, the
Yep,
tattoos
the
were
tattoos.
thief marks. You know, you were branded as a thief if you were caught stealing back in the Edo period.
And then the
At
symbol
least,
on his back.
yeah,
I
the
know.
symbol on his back is a memorandum to his wife.
And then like upside down, it's also like I think the reverse. There was like
Yeah,
two
it's
meanings,
upside
whether it's
down.
upside down or not
Yeah, yeah,
upside down. Yeah,
exactly.
there's so much. Like his design is like insanely rich
With
with
lore,
thought and lore, which is
and
great
then
character design. My God, like
it's great.
I already
It's
thought
great,
visually
honestly.
he was great character design, but man, thematically his character design is even crazier.
You know, the thematic undertones for his character design is crazy, and then his compass needle is designed after.
You know what's
Again, if you really think about it, yeah, he had his memories wiped,
yeah, oh
but
yeah, but he was
everything of his
still yeah
transformation
was still
of who
bleeding
he
into him.
was
Yeah.
still bleeding out, and in memory of her. You know what
Well, if
I
you think
mean?
about
So
it, his memory
that
was
was
white, but he
great.
still knew that those martial arts moves. So like there are things that are ingrained in
Hmm.
your body. They would say.
No, for sure. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
But I loved
No, it was great.
when I
Even
first
his
actually
color
started.
scheme.
Oh yeah, when I first started watching the movie, like when I first started seeing him fight again in the movie,
Hmm.
I was like, I don't see any ice powers. Why is it a
Yeah, I was
snowflake?
always
I
wondering.
was
I
like, does
was
he
wondering
have
that
ice? Am I going to see
since
that?
the first time he fought since Mugen Train. I was like,
Yeah.
but where? I'm like, okay, I see a snowflake on the floor.
Where's the
All
ice?
right, he got some ice powers or something like
Nope.
that. No,
Not
no,
just
this guy
fists.
has air fists, slicing through the air with his bare fists.
Yeah, that was so really cool. How it just resembled her hairpin.
Yeah, it's great. Again, that is probably one of the best designed characters in the entirety of the show, at least demon wise.
Yeah.
And we got some pretty cool looking demons. I'm not gonna say like he's the end all be all, but at least thematically,
Hmm.
a lot of thought went into designing this character, and given his backstory, it all makes sense and is really touching, is really deep, and I've enjoyed every single second of that backstory. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it does drag a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna act like it doesn't drag, and I'm not gonna say it's not to the point where it kind of takes you out of, because the action abruptly stops,
Yeah.
and then you're just thrusted into
Into story. Yeah.
this extensive backstory. So I can see why a lot of people, oh, there's some pacing issues. I don't really think it's a pacing issue per se, but it does drag. It's extensive. It's a little heavy
I would
handed,
say I
is like
feel
I
like
call it.
it only feels that way if you are not as invested into the backstories. If like
Yeah,
I
I
love the
feel like
backstories in Demon Slayer, and
that complaint. Mhm.
if you love those backstories, I feel like it doesn't feel that bad. But if you're
Right.
not like as if you're more invested into say the action or just the overall like if you're not like all about those, I can see that feeling really dragged out.
No, for sure, I've seen that rebuttal online. Especially on Twitter and TikTok, where a lot of people are like, "Well, if you found the backstory, boring, or you're complaining about backstory, all you really cared about was the fights."
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
and
fine.
some
You
people
can
do.
care
Yeah,
about the fights. Some people just, excuse me, just want to see the action. I mean, I went in wanted to see the action too, which is which I was really excited for. But once again, this is Demon Slayer.
yeah.
I've been watching Demon Slayer for over 4 years now. It's like
Exactly. Like this is what we've been
I'm
used
not
to.
gonna
Like I'm
I'm
not
not
like this
gonna
wasn't a
be upset.
surprise to me. Yeah. Like this is just what I've been watching for the past numerous years.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, listen, we I feel like we touched on some pros, some cons, and the highs, the lows, and I feel like, I feel like some people are valid in their
Yeah.
reasonings. Some, I'm not gonna say no one's valid in things that they didn't like about a movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The art itself is subjective. Everybody has their own opinions, but a lot of this stuff did not bother me. I did want some fights to
Yeah.
be a little longer than others, but listen, we were in for a treat from start to finish, and I got what I wanted out of the movie. So I'm not upset. I'm still
Yeah.
hype about it.
I had a very good movie going experience.
No, absolutely. And then watching it in Dolby on that big ass screen with those visuals and that color popping out of Dolby Vision, bro,
Yeah.
it was truly a sight to behold. But
I
we're
really
gonna wrap this all up. Just let me know your final thoughts, and we'll rate the
yeah.
movie, and we'll go on about our day and get more Demon Slayer hunting. You know what I'm saying?
The only thing I hope for in the next movies is we've seen everything in the first movie. Like we've seen
Hmm.
this new environment. I feel like they are going to have to really be very dynamic in their new set pieces
Right.
for it, because we're going to see 2 more movies in this. Obviously, I assume the next movie is going to be mostly still in this location, and I think the
Absolutely.
third one's going to might spice things up a little bit, if I'm not mistaken, probably in terms of location.
We'll have a little
Yeah.
change of scenery, but
But for the most part, it's still the
part,
same. The castle is like the
Mhm.
main focus of like this whole final art. So I hope
Absolutely.
they do get a little bit, and they already have done a really good job. Like the set pieces felt pretty good, especially from the first one with Shinobu, and then the rest. Like the set pieces felt a little different because she had like the water in that area, and it was like a locked room, and that was kind of their arena. So I just hope that they kind of like spice things up a little bit with the scenery to feel a little bit different, because we're going to be in this place for another probably like 4 hours
Well,
total.
yeah, I can see, I
Yeah.
understand where you're coming from, because we also got to think about, they might be a little more dynamic, because before the movie wrapped, she did the new fourth upper
Yes.
moon, expanded the hell out of the castle,
Which would
made it
have
like this sort of like, was like, I'm like, bro, define all the laws of gravity, physics, just supernatural shit.
she
You know
said
what I'm
my shit
saying?
wasn't infinite enough. So
Making it more infinite. It's like
so
turning in on itself, and it's like expanding. It's like, bro.
you know what's crazy? When she did it, I got pissed. I was like, "Oh, bro!" Like, and our man's son, our man's little man's, is sitting here like, "All right, I ain't giving up." I would have given up. I would have like, "What am I supposed to do with this? What am I supposed to do with this? This is infinite.
Yo, and
This
they
is
got the
infinite."
whole they had the whole wall plastered with freaking layouts and paintings and markings and
Oh
shit,
yeah,
bro. That's insane. But
but yeah,
yeah,
no,
I'm gonna rate this
that's really
movie.
that's the only thing I'll want for the next ones.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you. I'm gonna rate this movie a 4 out of 5, like I did on my social review. So I'm gonna certify it. You let me know what's your rating, and then yeah, we'll get out of here, man.
Yeah, if we're doing out of 5, I don't like half points either. So I'm gonna do 4 out of 5.
No, I don't mind doing a half point, but this is a solid 4 out of 5. It's not a perfect movie by any means,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I feel like
I'll
we've
give it a 4 out of
highlighted
5.
why, but a solid 4 out of 5 from start to finish. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this special episode of the Nerdy Basement Podcast. This is our review of Demon Slayer, the movie Infinity Castle. Boozer, man, it was nice having you again. We'll do it again sometime.
Yeah,
We
man,
got Boozer coming back in a few episodes and things like that. Well, you guys are gonna see a lot more of Boozer from now on. So
feels good to
if
be
you guys
back.
enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you guys do not miss a video, a short, or whatever podcast episode. Let us know what you guys thought in the comments about this movie. Make sure you share the episode with your friends and your family. Most importantly, share it with your grandma. We're going to see you guys on the next episode. As always, stay nerdy, my friends.